Welcome to Let's Be Real Sports Podcast, presented by Let's Be Real Media. Watch us live on YouTube and Twitter, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at LBR_media. Also, subscribe to us on any podcasting platform.
What's going on? BLJ here, the best hype man in the NBA. Man, I'm here with Let's Be Real. Tune in. Hello.
All right, we are back from a little two week hiatus. Let's Be Real Sports Podcast with your boy P Shark and the guys Skylar, Trevor, Sheedy. No Took today. How y'all doing?
Good to see y'all. It's been a minute for me.
Right,
maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah,
somebody's been a little international.
Right.
Hey, somebody got their own tour going on.
Business travel.
running that PTO up out of there. You see, you gonna give it to me? All right, I'm gonna use it. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm blowing.
Prepare the others.
Exactly.
Prepare the others. Yep, that's exactly what it means.
Good to see y'all, man.
But
Good to see y'all.
Yeah.
But typically they make you work on like holidays and stuff, so it does make sense in your case for sure.
Come on, man. Yeah, y'all gonna keep buying these shoes, so I gotta keep getting them out. How about that?
What did do, Ryan?
Hey, come on, Ryan Harris. Tighten up.
Yeah, tighten up.
What a day.
Good day indeed. Nice, man.
What a day.
After a down couple weeks, yeah. But at two game on, but the Panthers got their first win. So hey.
Look at them.
Look at him.
I know he is excited right now.
Must
excited.
Be. Right.
Nah, he's still on cloud 9 for going to his first Suns game last
year. Though.
I was just going to say that. That's why he ignoring us today. Went to go see Katie and your football team finally get a first dub after 7 weeks. Yeah, I'll cancel on y'all too.
Especially when they ain't got the draft pick. They need it.
They don't have
that.
They literally do back down. That's why they need to win. Like
that's why they need to win, because
if they had the draft pick, he probably wanted them to lose.
The fact that you got to watch that number 1 draft pick go potentially to Chicago, man, that's gonna hurt.
Wow.
But the Bears.
As always, support the other podcasts on Let's Be Real Media Network. 3 the Hardaway crew, of course, with Sheedy, Tush, and Savage. As y'all went live this past Thursday for the NBA season.
Crazy
Definitely. As well, the Jeans Report. Mr. Jeans made his return last week, and congrats to him. He has a child on the way, and congrats. Another father coming to the LBR family.
Yes, sir.
I'm still waiting. Trevor's still waiting. We chilling.
Our time will be here when he gets here. I'm telling you.
Right.
Mine said we chilling on that.
Listen, one less mouth to feed. You ain't gotta worry about the bedtime. When they sick, you sick. Right. You gotta use your PTO.
See now to that point, to the exact point, bro. And she can attest about this because I talked to him about this the other day. Traveling when it's just you and the wife, you and the bae, it's totally different when you're traveling with the kid, bro. So if you ain't ready for them problems, continue to chill. Continue to chill.
Because I can imagine if I'm gonna be heated if I'm making a 3-hour drive to Nashville and I gotta stop in Jackson because my kid gotta use the back. No,
see,
not ready for that.
See, and it's okay because you never will. You never will.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You'll never be ready. And those first couple months are hell. Let me go ahead and tell you that. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shark. I'm sorry. We're just talking mess.
Yeah. But it's a great feeling when it happens, though. So yeah, and also Savage, of course, he's around the corner from his second child. So yeah, the LBR family is definitely growing with the kids. So hey, keep pushing. As well, also LBR Gaming, Let's Be Real Gaming. Trevor, I think is it simply Trevor LBR? Your YouTube.
Simply Trevor LBR on YouTube. It's in the ticker down here. We're gonna be back up and running. I took a week off. Most of my stuff is already recorded, so I just got to edit and just post it this week. So we moving.
Yep. Steady moving. Also, follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, TikTok, IG, and Facebook at LBR_media. Subscribe on audio platforms on any audio platform at Let's Be Real Sports, or subscribe and watch us on YouTube at Let's Be Real Media. And without further ado, of course, we got the Pacing and Pills, got our sponsors to come up and talk about. First up, Manscaped. So y'all know we still up here with Manscaped, man. Support for Let's Be Real Media is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels, including Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 and the new package they have, the 5.0 Ultra. As you can see the little graphic on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Oh man, which is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million, not 100, not 1,000, million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off. Yes, you heard it right. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code LBR Media. Again, that is 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code LBR Media at manscaped.com. It's also pinned to the top of the comments on YouTube as well. So check out Manscaped. Support us. You ride with us. Hey, we appreciate the support. Go right, not the graphics.
It's real. It's real when you see the graphics.
It's real out here. When we got graphics, yeah, it's real out here.
Because I knew Ryan was gonna say something about that.
Yep.
Shout out to Ryan for consistently being on the podcast because he's on here so often, bro. He supports us so much. I knew he was going to comment on that. That's very on brand of you, Ryan. Very on
six man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the honorary six man.
He's the honorary six man. Yep.
Savage said, through the harder way, we know Savage said, I need to hear about Will Levis. You know what? Might go ahead and do when we get into our little first segment. But first up, let's get the party started with our intro video. Let's be real. All right, we are back and we are going to a real talk segment. And if you saw the graphic and the title of the episode, it's called Ban the Tush Push with a question mark. Y'all know what Tush Push is, or they want to call it, I heard another name for it, the Philly, not Philly Special. I forgot what, I forgot the other name, but Tush Push, whatever you want to call the Philadelphia Eagles, when they have 1 yard to go. And they damn near the only team in the league who can pull this off almost every single time. They get the first down automatically. They line everybody up. Jalen Hurts go in the center. They put two of the biggest dudes, AJ Brown and Julio Jones, who they got that just signed last week. Whoever they want to put back there, Dallas Goedert, and they're gonna push. The offense line already the best in the league. Jalen Hurts already got strong legs. Then you get two of the biggest dudes right there pushing him. You never stop it. They ran it like 5 times on the Miami Dolphins last week. So. The NFL's been rumors about them banning this play, and it's only one team that can run the play. How y'all feel about the talk of the NFL potentially banning this play? Starting with Skylar, Trevor, and Sheedy.
Sorry about that. I was looking for my mute button. You kind of already said what I wanted to say. I don't think that the league should ban it because it's only one team that's good at it. I think what also makes the Eagles so good at it is, to your point, the offensive line, but isn't Jason Kelce still a center guard or something like that? Which is like, I think his technique and how he gets underneath the finish to create that leverage for Jalen Hurts. Not too many linemen in the league, in my opinion, can do that. So until this becomes a thing where multiple teams can do it, until this becomes a more of a guarantee across the league, I don't think the league should do anything with it. It's just one of those that, like, if you don't like it, then just stop it, right? I think that's the most simple way to get rid of it. Just stop it. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, you couldn't even say that any better. At this point, if you don't like it, stop it. It's just that simple. And it's been like this for quite some time. Because remember when the Wildcat was a huge thing, when teams had trouble about that. Guess what happened? Teams went and figured it out and now you don't see it used as much anymore in the NFL. So it's just not only is just with the actual play itself, it's just like Skylar mentioned, it's just great technique by the Eagles. Like they have a great offensive line, Jalen Hurts and things of that nature. So if you don't like what they're doing, just stop it. And I think the reason they're talking about banning it is because everybody in the league can't stop it. Nobody was talking about this with the Patriots because remember, Tom Brady had a high success rate running the quarterback sneak as well. And I didn't hear anybody talking about banning the sneak with them. So, and I'm not trying to pull that card, but it's kind of glaring there when you really just look at it. But at the end of the day, if you don't like it, stop it. It's just that simple.
I think they're looking at another rule too, but I'm not going to address that now because we're talking about the tush, push, tush, whatever. It doesn't even really matter. Not only stopping them on third down, like how Washington did, I think, on fourth down and 1 today with their little tushy push, but stop allowing them to get the 8 to 9 yards to get set up for that. Not only just stopping this play itself, but Lord have mercy, you got 2 downs to stop them before you even get there. So why not get ready to get that done? Also, you're not going to stop it because Jalen Hurts, y'all talk about Kelsey, the great offensive line. Jalen Hurts been squatting at least 500 pounds since he was in college. 500 pounds. And he's got more in him now. And he's got people in the backfield that are pushing him too. You ain't really stopping that, especially with the offensive line that they have pushing you as well. So again, you either stop them and make it a longer third down where it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, so they'll line up for that, or you get your ass ready and get low man wins, and do better. That's all I got.
Hey, well said, Sheedy. I mean, like I said earlier, like you was talking about Jalen Hurts and those squats. Like he got strong legs, great offensive line, got 2 big people back to pushing on. Like, what's the problem? It's a lot of racial unders in the black quarterbacks. That's why I like go hard for black quarterbacks because it's like Trevor said, you hear nothing about this Tom Brady was doing it when they was doing a regular quarterback sneak, but now you got a black quarterback kind of dominating on these plays, and now it's gonna become a problem, potentially a ban. Like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. Is there only one team that can do this? If this was like all 32 teams are doing this and we're just unstoppable, I still wouldn't pretty much understand. But okay, I can at least get that point. Like, it's too easy. But yeah, it seemed like it's a bunch of nonsense, but it seemed like it's some real leg with this and real talks about this. So I hope they don't, but hey.
Yeah, too many teams complaining because they can't stop it. And then I guarantee you the ones that's complaining has been teams that have been victim of it. And especially the Miami Dolphins, because last Sunday, Jesus Christ, they ran their jump 5 straight times and got a first down every single time. Go ahead, Scott. I think you had a point.
This conversation, like this particular subject, makes me mad because it's one of those things that were like the NFL is trying to find issues instead of addressing the major issues like refereeing, like there's like domestic violence. Like it's amazing how we want to like create narratives like this, and we're forcing the league to create a rule around a play where only one team is successfully running, maybe 2 max. But then like we have a referee problem every single week, almost every single game. Like we were talking about referees way too much, in my opinion, and like I don't see, in my opinion, too much where the NFL is coming to say, this is how we're going to address it, or this is how we're going to fix it. Like, let's focus on other things in the league and, things with the players, things with the owners and GMs and things like that versus a single play or 2 in an NFL game. Like, this is crazy to me.
Yep. Wow. And also the Brotherly Shove, that was the name. I was thinking the city of brotherly love is Philadelphia, the Brotherly Shove. Shout out to Savage and Ryan. Put it in the comments. So yep, that's what the other name for outside Tush Push. But speaking of the rest of undertone, to go back to real talk, shout out to Savage for telling me to speak about Will Levis. I want to speak about the Titans fans today. Shout out to Will Levis for 4 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill had 2 touchdowns in 6 games. Put things in perspective. Will Levis had 4 in his first NFL game today. Yes, Sheedy. Yes. Mike Vrabel.
And what y'all paying him by like 28 something? A season?
Oh yeah, he was good.
It's out there. That's contract done after this year.
Yeah, I was like, this is the last year of that deal, but it was up there.
Yep. Yes, she did. But one, let's start with Mike Vrabel. You tried to employ this 2-quarterback system and brought Malik Willis in and keep putting him in bad positions. Malik Willis might not be the greatest quarterback. That's still to be determined. Will Levis the belt on today. There's no question on it. Malik Willis in his times hasn't looked that good. On the other end, it just feel like he never really got a true, real offense built to his skill set because of our coaching. But the Titans fans today, Will Levis, I don't know if they're booing him, Malik Willis specifically, or booing the coaching staff for putting Malik Willis in the game. But he puts him in. Will Levis starts. He puts Malik Willis in the second play of the game. He fumbles on the bad snap, right? It's partly the center fault because of the bad snap, but Willis then also diving the ball. So it's kind of both off, right? He puts him back in a package in the second quarter when Will Levis was cooking, getting down the field, and the fans pursued a boo while he's coming out on the field. And then after the play, they rotate, put Will Levis back in, they start to cheer. You get my jiff?
Yeah.
That really hurt me.
It's about time for teams to start taking that too, Sheedy, but it's also time for teams to start taking calls for the Titans start taking calls for Malik Willis. I think he needs a fresh start somewhere else. I mean, I think there's still something there. And I believe it or not, the Vikings are in the market for a QB right now with Kirk Cousins going down with that Achilles injury. So I think the right situation for Malik Willis with some proper weapons around him, I think he could still do something. As far as Will Levis is concerned, an amazing day. Of course, those Oilers jerseys look crisp out there. So shout out to y'all for bringing those back. Impressive start, but I need to see a little bit more. Like I said in the group meeting we talked offline, we may have a Jay Herbo situation on our hands where he may turn out to be a better pro than he was in college. I always make fun of him for having a game of only passing 97 yards in the entire game, only to be reminded that Joe Burrow actually had that same stat line earlier this season. So in the NFL, but yeah, so. You guys may have your quarterback, but we'll see where this goes for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and definitely to Ryan's point said, and that's why I took it. So I was about to put something on Twitter, and I was like, I do not feel like arguing with these white Titans fans because all they're gonna say is the coaches, they're booing the coaching staff, right? And that might be true, but they did cheer as they made the switch. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's just a nice. Will Levis having a really good game. He might be the quarterback, and he's better than Malik Willis without that whole thing. And to me, that's a black white issue. If he wasn't a black quarterback, they wouldn't boo him. That's just my opinion. But hey, that was like the bad part about today's game. But everything else went well. Scott, you had something to say?
Yeah, I'm not going to address the fans cheering or booing because I didn't watch the game, so I don't want to speak on something I didn't see. But however, I mean, timeline was flooded of Will Levis throws, so there's that. And coming from a fan who I don't know if I have the quarterback or if I do have the quarterback, for your sake, I hope that he is your quarterback and you have found your answer. When you have found your answer at quarterback, so much else goes well with your franchise, with your team. But Lord Jesus, if you don't have a quarterback or if you're having to question the quarterback, there's so much more that gets, amplified, so much more that gets magnified around your team. Look at Pat Mahomes. Look at, look at Joe Burrow. Look at Josh Allen. Like this whole thing about Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is like, it's kind of mute as much as like if it was compared to if it was somebody else. So I'm saying that to say, I hope that you have your quarterback. So therefore you can move on as a fan. You can move on as a franchise to work on other parts of the team.
Yep, much needed. That was much needed for us. And whether Will Levis is truly the guy or not, today was just a great start. That was something nobody expected. Even Titans fans who probably the few Titans fans that actually were happy we drafted Will Levis, they probably didn't expect the performance. So that was just something that's like, okay, we got something to at least look forward to. Sheedy.
Yeah, and big ups to D Hop, man. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all he eventually made his way to the Titans, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like he's just been dead weight with the Titans? Because what you just told me, you told me that
He's
Buddy only got 1 touchdown.
So he's actually been good this year, but he had
No touchdown.
Tannehill was bad, but D-Hop was the only person who was producing.
Yeah, D-Hop looked a lot fresher today.
Mhm.
From what I've seen from those throws, and those throws look really good. Better than what I've seen from Tannehill this year for sure. And kudos to y'all, man. Move forward. I think after y'all's trade that happened, where y'all gave away one of the best safeties in the league for some peanuts, I kind of felt like y'all were going to like kind of crumble a little bit, right? Like I feel like y'all were like giving stuff away. And if you're going to give stuff away, then don't suit up Derrick Henry because we could use him in Dallas. But nonetheless,
y'all should send a trade off.
Moving forward, yeah, we should have. But y'all got to pay the rest of that money, though. We ain't paying that.
He free agent all season, so it's 1 year rental regardless.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. But like I didn't know what to expect from the Titans today. I'll be honest, and I too was one that didn't really watch you all because the Cowboys were on at the same time.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with the throws that I did see, and of course, like I said, D-Hop, who I feel like was a lot fresher and things of that nature. Just give him a chance. And you've talked about this before. I'm playing both sides of the fence. I've seen your coaching staff do okay, and I've seen them do terrible. And one thing I will always applaud the Titans, and I think you and I have talked about this link ad nauseum, like was it 2 or 3 years ago? 2 straight years, you guys averaged at least 85 different players. 85 different players, and still were in the playoffs both of those seasons. And so there was like, whatever the coaching staff was doing then, great. I wish they could kind of mimic it. I mean, of course, then didn't work out well in the playoffs. However, there might be a coaching staff issue that will be more obviously seen depending on how the rest of this year goes. But again, if you got a quarterback, you good.
Yep, it goes back to exactly what Scott said. So we'll see if he continues it. But one thing and last thing on Will Levis, one thing I really saw that really impressed me, and more than just his throws and touchdowns, was it was a lot of plays, and we white Titans fan basically going to blame the offensive line for all the sacks Tannehill was taking. And even Malik Willis took 4 sacks in the 4th quarter of the week. It was a lot of plays, the same plays that they both took sacks on that Will Levis didn't, that he could have took sack on, but he threw the ball away, threw it at the ground. It was like, and for that to be his very first game, that really impressed me. Like, okay, like he gets it, like, because these other 2 quarterbacks were just taking sacks. It's crazy, but yep, that's the last thing I got. Facts that the Titans took today. Hey, really, with y'all,
didn't they lose their quarterback too?
We helped y'all
Didn't they
out.
lose their quarterback?
Y'all finally benched. Y'all should have been benched. So we helped y'all out.
Yeah, y'all should have been starting Taylor Heineke. I'm just gonna keep it real.
And then Bijan finally came in. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Isn't that what the Falcons do every single week? Don't they let somebody? I was gonna say, don't the Falcons let somebody off the hook every single week? Like that comment just kind of like
the whole game.
They do that, bro. That's what the Falcons do, bro. Like you shouldn't be mad. That happens every week. Trust me, I've bet on the Falcons before. Like, no,
sir. But shout out to Faustina's boy, man. That's our guy, man. He's supported us on the Starting 5 podcast, which we got a second coming up called Starting 5 on this episode. So stay tuned for that. But right before that, we got to pay some bills. Let's hear from our sponsor from SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. When you use our code LBR Media, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek scores each ticket selection 0 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Click the link in the description to download the app and remember our code LBR Media for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek, your route to high quality ticket selection.
Yep. Support us, SeatGeek. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets to a game of any game. If you want to go check out the Titans, who we just talked about. The Titans play the Steelers this Thursday, me versus Skyler and Trevor. So go and get to Pittsburgh. Go and use that discount code and go check out the Titans and Steelers this Thursday night. Man, Justin dropped. That's why I don't fool defense anymore.
Is it? Yep. It wasn't the other 3 losses?
Started fat bike Grizzly team. Exactly.
Tough.
Shout out to Savage. And matter of fact, we go ahead and start with that. Main entree. That's actually reverse it. Let's go with our starting five first. Then we go to the main entree. Starting five, y'all. Then follow us. We have starting five podcast with the same five gentlemen minus Tuke is out today, but adding Tuke. Starting five. And we'll probably, might not be every single episode, but at least once, maybe twice a month, we'll do a segment just kind of based on how the Grizzlies are doing the previous weeks, or however. But of course, I'm covering the Grizzlies for Blow City Media now. I was at the first two games. Got a chance to go speak to some players after the games and everything. So Grizzlies lost their first three games, of course. Injuries galore. Steven Adams out for the season. Hear that right before the season start. Santiago Aldama hurts his ankle the next day in practice. Luke Kennard gets a concussion the first game of the season. You're literally without a starting five on your injury/suspension list. Like you got John Morant, Luke Kennard, Santiago Aldama, Brandon Clark, and Steve Adams. That's legit starting five. And you go through the games. Pretty much they've been behind each game and they've been fighting back and clawing back and giving themselves chances, but it's been too late because they've been battling back the whole game. So Grizzlies this week, just y'all thoughts on how the season started, where y'all think everything is headed from here. Same order.
Same order. This feels such like old times.
Own it.
I'm gonna pass it down to the big fella. Look at that. I can't wait for you to say it. I would say I'm not too concerned. I mean, it's just the third game of the season? Like it's October? Season ends in April? May? Somewhere in there? I just feel like there's so much that needs to happen and it's going to happen between now and then that I'm not too concerned. But I think as a Grizzlies fan, for me, this is Scholar speaking, I'm accepting that from my leaders outside of John Morant, and I'm specifically talking about Desmond Bane and Triple J. And I may make some people mad, but who cares? I believe what they consistently give me as far as an average perspective is concerned. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head what Desmond Bane is averaging per game. Is exactly what Triple J is averaging. But I'm saying that to say I don't know if they can give me more until Ja gets back. So from that standpoint, I should be a little bit concerned if I'm the front office, if I'm the team, because where I'm paying X amount of dollars for those two players, though they be good, they are really good and they have potential. I don't know if they can give me more. I don't know if they can take their game to the next level while my star is out. So I think the Grizzlies are going to struggle between now and when Ja gets back. That's happening because clearly you see, Sharky, you already talked about it. They're injured. And Tuke mentioned this, if I'm not mistaken, on Let's Be Real. I think he was talking. It was on this podcast. He said something about if a player or team goes into that particular season injured from jump, typically that's how that team is going to be for that season. So is there a scenario where the Grizzlies may not make the playoffs? Sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen or not happen. I'm just concerned, at least for right now. Again, I'm not too concerned right now. But I'm a little worried that between my second and third best player, they're not going to give me more. So again, I think the Grizzlies are going to struggle for this foreseeable future until at least they can get some of these injured guys back on the team.
Yeah, 100%. The Grizzlies are beat up right now and they're just shorthanded. So it's not really much that you can complain about. Am I worried as well as a Grizz fan? Slightly, but not a whole lot. I mean, it's still early. We're just 3 games in. We got a whole lot of basketball still left to be played. But to Scholar's point, as far as your second and third best player, I'm looking more towards Jaren Jackson Jr. more so than Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane, yeah, I think he's giving you around 25 a night. There's still some stuff. He's happened to work for that 25 plus too, because it is teams are scouting Desmond Bane, and from the games that I've watched, from all the games that I've watched, he still needs to work on his ball handling, which is still kind of shaky at times. But I'm pointing the peripheral gun to Jerry Jackson Jr. I think a lot of what fans were expecting as far as being able to sustain everything until Ja gets back was the ascension of Jerry Jackson Jr. I think what eventually happened at FIBA, what was supposed to go well for him, the exact opposite happen to where it's not looking too good. Like he was supposed to come into this season with everything going on. He's supposed to be averaging close to 20 or at least north of 20 alongside Desmond Bain. And we haven't gotten that yet this season. Now, will we get that this season during this 25 game stretch without Ja? That remains to be seen. Like we know he's gonna be we know what he's gonna bring on the defensive side of the ball. We know he's gonna be in a lot of foul trouble, which I still do not think why Taylor Jenkins still insists on using this man at the 5. Like, please go get another big man to play alongside this man. So that's why I thought the signing of Bismack Biyombo, which was a little bit too late, to be honest with you. You should have signed him for the season start. I think Sharky got something on that.
So they had no roster space. So even now, they still can't sign him until after the 5th game because Ja Morant, he goes to the suspension exemption list. Then now his roster spot opens up. So he can't even play until Friday at least.
Yeah, I did read that he won't be able to play until after the 5th game. But even then, but just actually addressing the need, I guess, period, just to go get somebody who you just need him to protect the rim, get rebounds, set screens. That's really all you really need him to do for 10 to 15 minutes a game. So will things turn around for the Grizzlies? Yeah, but it's going to get worse before it gets a lot better. I said 15 and 10. We looking a little 12 and 13-ish right about now. So we'll see what happens going forward with the Grizz.
Well, I guess this is where I chime in and say I didn't have the Grizzlies in the playoffs before injuries were sustained to Steven Adams, before the season began. Great thing about basketball, no one's ever went 82-0. No one's ever went 0-82. So they're bound to win some games. The question is, when are they going to win games? I'll be honest, losing to Washington, I felt like they needed to win that game. That's just me personally. I just feel like they needed a good feel win. I think they played the Nuggets as hard as they could, but to the points that have already been made, Jaren Jackson Jr. ascension, are we at the pinnacle yet? Like, is there going to be another step that he takes or not? Because we've been talking about an ascension of Triple J for, I don't know, every year. And every year, there's not really a huge ascension, so to speak, from him. He might get a little more points, a tad bit more rebounds, but he's not like blowing the top off this great player, so to speak. And nothing against him. He was an all-star. I'm not discrediting that. Please don't understand that. But if you're an all-star, then you better play like a Miami fucking all-star. And when your other all-star is out, you need to step it up and be like an all-pro NBA player. Now, the other issue that nobody ever wants to discuss, that Trevor kind of alluded to a little bit, is the coaching of putting him in at the 5. He's not a 5. He gets his blocks and plays great defense when he's the 4, when he's more of a free safety on the floor to do what he can do. When you put him at the 5, you are hurting and diminishing the skill set of Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm saying that for the sake of him. I don't know what chemistry him and Bismack Biyombo gonna have with each other. I know one of them speaks African, the other one speaks English, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Okay. But what I will say is, where is the scoring going to come from for this team? Are we gonna talk about the next games? Cap, do I need to shut my mouth?
No, you can go. Here you go.
Okay.
This is yours.
Okay, yay. And
I got an ISO. I got an ISO.
You got the ISO. Let's go.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? First of all, let me address the Grizzlies fans. He's not a 5. Let me also address Grizzlies fans as well. I don't know what you think is going to happen once Ja Morant comes back, but still putting them in this spot between, 3 to 5 with the West the way it is. I don't see that. That's me personally. Okay. But now let's talk about the next game. Next game is the Mavericks. Luka, I don't know if y'all been, not y'all, but everybody else, Luka ain't scoring nothing less than about 35. Triple doubles, first game, 47 with a bank shot off the 3. We ain't even gotten to Kyrie yet. Who gonna stop him? And Cap, you've been to the games. You could tell me about Marcus Smart's lockdown defense, how that's been. If he's been locked down, clanking, or if he's got to leave the door open a little bit, I don't know. But they got the Grizzlies coming up. The Grizzlies got Dallas and Utah. Utah played very well against the Nuggets the other night. Matter of fact, I mean, not the Nuggets, the Clippers, where Jordan Clarkson locked up Kawhi Leonard. I ain't never seen Jordan Clarkson lock up nothing but his hair. So, to be honest, you don't want this to go 0-5, Grizz fans. You got to get at least one of these next two. And it was the next one at home, Cap. Yeah. So you hope that right before Halloween, y'all can get a scary victory against the Mavs. And then you gotta go to Utah where they don't like us anyway. But I'll leave that alone. But I let me say this from the bottom of my heart for all fans. You have to be realistic with your team. Every win, you can celebrate. But every loss, don't get silent. You can critique your team with losses the same way you can approve them for winning. I hate when not only Grizz Twitter, Cowboys Twitter, everybody's Twitter that I follow be loud as hell when it's a win. But when it's a loss, we silent. And we don't want to address the loss. Losses are a part of the game. Again, you've never seen nobody go 82-0. It don't happen. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? This should have went better this time. And that's how you get better. But I digress. My apologies. Off my soapbox.
Do you have books? Do you have book, scripture, and verse for that? Just so I can reference that for other people.
Don't get him started.
First Nickelodeons, 9/11. They need to call somebody.
All right, boy. Well, let me provide some insider insights. Play on words. That's my article there right after every game, right after every home game, right away. Check it out on bluffcitymedia.co.com or just bluffcitymedia.co. I'm not as worried, and I think I'm just thinking about just speaking to Marcus Smart after the game, speaking to Desmond Bain and them. The chemistry being dropped with that bomb about Steven. I blame the front office. Ain't nothing you can do about it now because this offseason, you basically y'all and Steven Adams himself decided to go against having surgery. Y'all didn't have a contingency in place. Yeah, and Xavier Tillman is playing great, by the way, right? But you need a backup to the backup. Y'all should have contingency in place to if Steven Adams' knee doesn't respond the way it's supposed to, and he has to ultimately have surgery because they knew that was a possibility. You should have went and got another center. You should have potentially traded Brandon Clark. Right. Brandon Clark is out the season as well. And as great as he is, he can be traded. You should have went ahead and gave up and said Jake LaRavia isn't it because he isn't. I tell you that right now. David Roddy probably ain't it either. Zaire is working out so far. And I don't expect him to be like an all-star, but for his role, he's doing really good, and that's fine. That's fine when you have Ja Morant. That's fine when you have Santi Aldama. That's fine when you have Luke Kennard. When you're missing, 5 of your top 8 players, you need Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson to step up. Desmond Bain, different position because now he's number 1 target for defenses. So I point to Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson, I blame it. It's half him, half Taylor Jenkins. Because as a big man, I put this in my very first article when they lost to New Orleans and he only scored 8 points. He had no points at halftime. The very beginning of the game, they didn't have no plays set up for Jaren to get the ball and get the easy basket. That's on coaching. Because as a big man, you need the ball early in the game because guards can get going anytime because they had the ball in their hands. Derrick Rose got going the last 2 games. Marcus Smart's played really well his first 3 games. Desmond Bain played well the first game. The last 2 games, he struggled shooting. But overall, outside his shot, he's been playing pretty well. You need to set up a place to get Jaren the ball because as a big man, he can't just go out and get the ball and then do what he go do, right? That's up to coaching to set that up. And we've been asking for that for how long? Years. And of course, the whole thing, him playing the 5, they kind of, because they didn't prepare in the offseason for just in case Steven Adams would be out. He had no choice but to play the 5 when the season started because, hey, I just saw someone say, where's Kenan Lofton Jr.? Kenan Lofton is on the 6'6". He ain't playing center. Now, he probably should have got some minutes. I do think he should have got some minutes, especially in that first game. I want to see that Kenan Lofton versus Zion matchup so bad to see just who was the biggest person.
That would have been lit.
But he's not a center, so Jaren still would have had to play center in that lineup. So it's a lot of things the front office screwed. They screwed up with that portion coming to the season because all right, if Steven Adams out, cool. We got Santi. We got, everybody. He got hurt first game. He got an ankle. So we hoping he come back this week. We're hoping Luke Kennard comes back this week. So yeah, you're going to struggle to score for a while until at least those two come back. And then even after that, you have to find a way to get through to Ja Morant. I am optimistic that as they play more together, the chemistry will get better. And that's what Marcus Smart is alluded to. That's what Xavier Tillman is alluded to. Yeah. Derrick Rose said he hadn't played ball in the whole year because pretty much New York sat him down. He was a veteran.
On the bench for God knows why.
So, and he's been playing pretty well at scoring, and he said he needs to work. His passing is off right now because he's rusty. So, I am, like I said, I am optimistic. I think they'll get it going at some point, but what point would that be? That remains to be seen. To Sheedy point, you could be down there 0-6 by the time they actually get to a certain point. So, we're taking game by game. Hope for the best. I'm not complete. It's the beginning of the season, 82 games, but in the Western Conference, you can't fall too far behind. And that's what happened. That's what happened with the Lakers last year. They got the 7th seed because they started season 2-10. They got it going late, but they started with season 2-10. So the beginning still does matter. But I am optimistic that they will eventually get it turned around. Just hopefully it's not too late.
All right. Let me kind of also add how huge it is to lose Steven Adams. Like Steven Adams is a focal point in playoff teams with great point guards, such as he did in Oklahoma City, such as he's been doing with the Grizzlies. And there's probably no one else that sets a stronger screen than Steven Adams. And there's no one that's going to, I feel like, even work as hard to get the rebound sometimes as Steven Adams. So that issue from management, that needs a lot more talking about, because he being Steven Adams, how pivotal he is for a possibility to run into the playoffs. That's huge to have that man without for a year. And now you have to make a new chemistry with Ja Morant and, Bayambo or whatever he is.
Yeah, and final thing to add, I think the other thing that I don't like, which Sharky kind of already said it. For me personally, between Jake LaRavia, David Roddy, and Zaire Williams, I don't like none of them. Me personally, I don't like none of them. I hadn't seen, people can be hurt, people can have a slow start, It ain't working. So
let's not play the draft game. Let's not do that and assess who we could have had with these picks, because I still forever. We'll get to Jalen Duren in a second,
right? So because they've had all those misses, me personally, because I know I got some picks in my back pocket, all three of them can go. Somebody they can trade for somebody. And then I feel like then you can find whatever you need to find. If you're Grizzlies front office, I'm gonna let you do your thing. But them three and some picks can go get me somebody else I know that can help my team. So that way we aren't starting late and we're having to scratch and claw the last 20, 30 games like the Lakers did last year to get into the playoffs. You need to start thinking about moving them now.
Yeah, I tried to tell Grizz Twitter even when we first got on for doing starting five about this front office. I told them they was a little shaky because when you look at it, outside of Brandon Clark and Desmond Bane, who did you really hit on? And I'm not going to say Ja Morant because that was just the obvious pick. And you were just honestly lucky to have the second pick, because if you'd had the first pick, they'd have been pressured to take Zion. So, I mean, besides Desmond Bane and Brandon Clark, who have you really hit on draft-wise? Maybe Xavier Tillman.
I would say Tillman and
maybe
Santi.
Tillman and Santi. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, these other guys,
you missed on all the wings. Probably the biggest, the most key
position. The biggest thing that's played the Grizzlies since they got into Memphis.
Needed all flat.
Right. I'm gonna say the best part, one of the best parts of the ticket. It ain't the best, but it's one of the best.
Literally.
The best part of the ticket. Very similar how it is on the NBA. It ain't the best part, but you got if you are missing on the wing, that's a problem for you.
Yeah.
Whether we talking about the chicken
hot
itself,
wings and not hot legs or hot thighs. It's called hot wings,
hot quarters.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
I about speaking on Scout's point, I was about to allude to something you haven't said it today, Sheedy, but you used to always say it about Dylan Brooks and the actual Starting Five podcast about sell high.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Zaire is playing well.
Yeah,
sell high. What Scout?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. This is the time to see.
And it's crazy. I don't know if y'all paid attention to this, but like the day that Steven Adams news broke, I feel like that was the one day I've seen the most signings of centers in my life out of nowhere. Like the Spurs signed somebody, the Wizards signed somebody, and there were like 3 to 4 signings all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, everybody was signing the bid. It's just that news, bro. I'm with you.
Like, it is what it is. But yeah,
I was like, okay, Memphis, you're gonna do something. I mean, I understand with all it.
Crazy. Sell him now. Awful.
Yep. And now, be honest, front office probably ain't, but
no.
So
we know
all this move, but hopefully Zaire does keep up his level of play and you get some players back and the offense start. And I would say this, I do like the new offense. They are currently a totally new offense. I like it. It's gonna be really good, especially with Jockey's back. The guy I forgot the coach name, the guy from Miami Heat, one of their assistants, and they got another guy from Milwaukee, St. Patrick. The guy was from Milwaukee, his last name St. Patrick. I forgot the guy's name from Miami.
I forgot his name, so I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about exactly too.
Okay, just lost my mind. But yeah, I think Brad Jones may be the name. I mean, I think it's Brad Jones. But either way, yeah, I do like the new offense system that they're running. So I think they got some promises. Just hopefully it's not too late by the time they actually start getting it rolling. But as for the rest of the league, so I was so busy with the Grizzlies this week. And shout out to Kirk Franklin. I didn't do flowers today. Shout out to Kirk Franklin, Ty Tribute. Great concert. I went to right before the season started. Definitely Tamlin Man, David Man, the whole 9 yards, man. That was really good performance. But NBA impressions, what y'all got for the NBA first week?
The only impressions that I have is I feel like as an NBA community, we should accept who Anthony Davis is. It is what it is.
The same thing can be said about Jaren Jackson Jr. because their careers absolutely mirror each other right now.
Almost, not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Jared got
you got a long way to go, big dog. Anthony Davis started the opening night against Denver. Got worked by Jokic. Nothing to call out there because Jokic could do that to anybody in the league. AD walked out there and got us 15, 17. Go ahead.
Also, shout out to Xavier Tillman on his way he guarded Jokic Fridays. Break out that point. He did. Tillman, man, great season thus far for him. But
for sure. But Anthony Davis didn't do that. So back to him. He walked out there and gave you 15, 17 for the game. All of that was in the first half. Barely any rebounds. Literally was not the leading rebounder on the team. Like crazy. But then walked out there against Phoenix, 30 and 15. So I'm saying, this is to the NBA Twitter. This is to the folks that get really upset about what AD does. And as a fan of AD, now granted, it's not the AD that it was, in New Orleans. I missed that AD.
Or 2020 AD.
We ain't never gonna get that AD back. However, I feel like when it comes to AD, whether it's Jaren Jackson Jr., whether it's Zion Williamson, whether it's Giannis, Jimmy Butler, who giving you 16 different haircuts a year. Let's just accept these people for who they are. I'm trying to bring positivity into people's lives. And I feel like we should not get upset when AD doesn't give you back-to-back 30 and 20 games. Or when Jaren Jackson doesn't give you, 20 and 10 games. Ladies and gentlemen, when people show you who they are, believe them. I'm saying it because it's been a minute since I've been on this podcast. Don't get upset when you're expecting something of somebody and they're not even giving you that. They're not even showing you who they are. You feel me? So be real with yourself to say, you know what? If I want Sheedy to do X, Y, and Z, and Sheedy doesn't give me that consistently, then ladies and gentlemen, Sheedy's just not consistent. That's what it is. Those are my only NBA impressions. I didn't watch too much NBA. I really don't get into the NBA until about January anyway. But I did watch some games here and there, and I just wish people would chill out. That's all. That's what I want to say. I wish people would just chill out.
Yeah, Ryan, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's gonna be my first impression. We was talking about coaching just earlier with the Grizzlies with Taylor Jenkins. It is amazing what coaching can do. especially when you have a coach that's able to instill his will into young players. What's going on in Detroit right now? If you ain't on that bandwagon now, I suggest you hop on it right now. Cade Cunningham is healthy. He's doing his thing. Jaden Ivey is starting to come along. Asura Thompson looks like he was probably the perfect fit for this team. I know it coming out of the draft, there were some issues about his shooting. He's already knocked down, I believe, 4 threes right now through these first 3 games. And he's a scrappy dude who's going to sit down in the chair and defend and things of that nature. Jalen Duren, Jesus Christ, the steal of their draft for them to go up and get him from Charlotte, in which, again, we stress the Grizzlies could have had him if they decided to take him instead of going to get Jake LaRavia. But that's the difference. And David Wright, I think we were both taken in that same draft. But it's amazing what Detroit is doing right now. I still think they need to make some adjustments to their roster. And sadly, for my fellow Memphians, the future for Detroit is not going to include James Wiseman. So sadly, I mean, Marvin Bagley is getting more minutes to him, and I felt that James Wiseman was the better person for those minutes than Marvin Bagley. But if Marvin Bagley is getting out there and James Wiseman is getting DMP's coach's decision, it may be time to hang it up on the Wiseman thing. And I hate to say it, but it is what it is. But yeah, they do need to make some roster changes. I think get a couple more vets there. Couple years, man, we're talking about them as possibly, if not in the play-in, possibly top 6. But I really do like what's going on in Detroit right
now. All right, let me stay in the East then. I think Detroit has a shot at getting the play-in this year, or at least contending for the play-in, for the simple reason what you just said of the coaching. Why? Because there's 3 red teams that need to have a fire sale. Chicago Bulls, Toronto Raptors, Atlanta Hawks. God awful. For the Bulls to have a players-only meeting after they lost their first game. The first game of the season had a players-only meeting. You're 0-1. You turn around and win the next game by a point because Alex Caruso played defense, and then you lost again because Zach LaVine gave you 51, no assists, and nobody else did nothing for real. God awful. The Hawks, it's Atlanta. Just do something. Get rid of Trae Young, reset this whole thing up, do something. Same thing in Toronto. God awful. Reset, hit the fire button, do something, get all that together. Because those 3 teams ain't seeing nothing. No play-in. They can get ready for their lottery picks. I know we're in the first week of the season. I don't see much of that changing at all. My salute goes to the Thunder. Shout out to Chet Holmgren. I think he had like 17 and 15 or something like that. Crazy stat the other day. But no one's ever going to say much about Chet Holmgren because he's in the same conference and is built similar to Wemby. And I mean, Wemby's been playing pretty decent. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. He has. But if you look at just the pure stat lines and erase the players' names, Chet Holmgren has been playing better than Wemby. Yeah. But because of the attention that Wemby garnishes because of his name, he's more than likely to get more of a, rookie of the year, as opposed to someone that might have earned it. And Brandon Miller played pretty decent with the Hornets, by the way. Coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's working. I mean, they lost the next game, but they won the first game. But again, out east, fire sale. Oh, you can also throw in the Wizards. And this is why I just don't understand that. Do the bare minimum to get to who? Them 3 teams I just named?
Yeah, the 3 red teams. Yep.
The 3 red teams. Yeah.
They ain't making the playoffs, dog. And I'm telling you that right now. It might mess around and be the Orlando Magic back, by the way, because they're playing pretty good. The Pistons are playing really good. And there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be playing really good for a very long time. And it definitely won't be those 3 teams I just named at all. And my other team out east that needs to get it together, the Wizards, go ahead and start tanking as well. Try to get somebody else that's light-skinned or white on that team. It's over with. That man Jordan Poole shot a corner 3, turned around and bricked the hell out of it. And then ran down the court like it was good. No, sir. He had like 25 points, but you shot like 20 shots. I hope you get 25 points with 20 shots.
With 20 shots, yeah, you better hit at least 10 of them.
Something got to give. So, I mean,
yeah.
Shout out to those teams. But again, not shout out to those teams. Those teams is abysmal. Shout out to my Thunder that I think for sure, know for sure, will be in the playoff contention. The Western Conference looks really weird and really good at the same time. I mean, the teams that are low, you would expect that at this point. And the teams that are in the middle, you kind of expect everything right now as is. Western Conference is really weird once they start in about
January.
Christmas. Yeah. Once we get to those Christmas games, then we really start turning on the heat a little bit. I don't mean in your house. Okay. Yeah. So look forward to those when it's time.
Oh, man. And like I said, I didn't really get to watch. I really didn't really get to watch anybody outside who the Grizzlies played. So my impressions will come from, I think they did lose the back-to-back more so because it was a back-to-back when they lost to Washington. Yeah. They literally flew out that night because when we was interviewing, they was like, yeah, we got to fly out in an hour. I remember Tillman was like, hey, we need to go make this jump quick so I can go see my kids. So I'm already seeing the real life like, dang, that's tough.
Yeah.
But my impression is Xavier Tillman. I mentioned him earlier. When Steven Adams got hurt, I figured we was fine with him starting. It was just getting back up to him, and now we're getting that Bismack Biyombo later this week. But shout out to Tillman, man. He's played great these first 3 games. He started to shoot again. I remember his rookie year, he could shoot the corner 3. He had a clutch 3 against Golden State in the play-in, and the shot went away. And he said this offseason he had been working on his shot again, and he's hit like 4 threes this season, along with his dirty work. He had double the first game, and he's just really been solid again. All the hustle plays. He's going to get a contract next year for somebody. If it's not the Grizzlies, somebody. And I just want to salute Xavier Tillman. He's definitely impressed me with his performance so far this season. And of course, the Denver Nuggets, they're defending champs, and they look like the defending champs. A lot of people thought that they may cool off this year. Jokic ain't going nowhere. Jamal Murray is not playing like playoff Murray in the regular season. They ain't going nowhere. So everybody kind of writing off Denver like, oh, they won, they didn't care. No, Denver's still up there. Don't be fooled.
I think, well, at least in my book, I think it's Denver and everybody else right now. And I think that's the slither, and I do mean slither of hope potentially for the Grizzlies, because to Sheedy's point, the West is weird right now, and things ain't gonna really start jumping off in the West until Christmas, and around that time, Ja Morant will be back. So it remains to be seen. I still gotta see more from Phoenix, man. I'm still not sold on them. They're looking like Brooklyn all over again. Scotty, if you want to elaborate, go right on ahead.
Because this is for I'm praying for two. Because I'm pretty sure he was very excited. He was very amped to go see KD in person. And, I think any one of us would. And I'm pretty sure he's feeling a different type of, KD Phoenix Suns fan today than he was a year or 2 years ago. I don't think Phoenix is going to do it. I don't understand, and I get it. You're trying to protect the player. I don't understand how 2 of your 3 ain't playing the first 3 games of the season.
Especially the way Booker played the first game.
Especially because Booker, my God, man, because he is good. And the other thing about this is, and I'm done when I say this, knowing that or the unluckiness of this thing I just made, where that comes with KD, like things don't just really work out with KD, or things don't work well with KD, or when he's in the presence of the team outside of when he was in Golden State. Things just don't work well with KD. KD's great. KD's one of the best players I've ever seen in my entire life. Things just don't work well when he's on the team. That's just history proving. So I just hope that Phoenix kind of surprises at least us on this podcast and do really well, because I don't think that they will.
It's looking like the Nets all over again, but we'll see.
Yeah. Fair point. But we got one last sponsor video to play. Then we get back with our last segment after you hear from our sponsor at BetStamp. Sports betting has rapidly risen in popularity, and I want to connect you all with the opportunity to get started or get ahead. Having multiple sportsbook accounts is the simplest way to maximize your profits, and there has never been a better time to sign up. When you visit our page, signupexpert.com, LBR. You'll be connected to all the sports books in your region, along with the review of each platform and its unique benefits. All these sports books have valuable sign-up offers for new users. And when you register through our link, you will automatically receive the top offer at each one. When you use multiple sports books, you ensure that you can always access the best available odds, which is key to successful sports betting. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support our brand, please consider signing up for your next sportsbook at signupexpert.com/LBR. All right, get to Would You Rather. Anyone have a Would You Rather?
I don't have a Would You Rather, but I have a troll and all if we want to go that route.
Let's get it. It's right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna take things out to Golden State, and there's a particular key piece in Golden State that has not received a new contract as of yet, and I believe his contract is going to be up soon. And that player's name is Klay Thompson. We know Steph got his money. Draymond recently just got his money. Andrew Wiggins got an extension after they won the championship in 22. And then they foolishly gave that money to Jordan Poole that same offseason as well. And then with Bob Myers leaving as well as the GM for the Golden State Warriors, he's not there anymore either. So I'm just going to come out and say it. Klay Thompson will not finish this season as a member of the Golden State Warriors.
Sheesh. Came with some pressure on that one.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I will say that he will. I still think that if I'm running the Warriors, if I'm running their organization, I say to myself, when I have a healthy, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, I'm winning somewhere about 70% of my games, somewhere along the line. That should at least get me to the playoffs, and I'll take my chances after that. So from that perspective, I will say that it's a great question, because I could see a scenario where they say, you know what, I need a piece of here, piece here or there, because they can be really aggressive in trying to improve their roster. If Klay Thompson's the final asking piece of a trade, I could see him being moved. But I think if I'm running the organization, I don't move him yet. I at least wait until the offseason. Well, it doesn't matter the offseason. I still stay with him on the team.
All right.
Yeah, I think this Warriors team has constructed, especially getting Kuminga, hopefully some more reps, is a team that will contend in the playoffs and make a deep run. And they make that deep run with Klay Thompson still at the helm with them. Now, to your point, would I be surprised? Actually, yeah, I would. I would be surprised if they traded him because of what he's done and been there for Golden State, even though I know their GM is gone and everything like that. But still, there's still some loyalty that I believe that the Warriors organization should have for Klay Thompson. And so with that said, I think you at least let him play out his season. And if it doesn't work out or whatever, or y'all think of a new deal, great. Money should be a little bit more loose, I would assume, after, because Chris Paul's money will be off the books after this season. And so they should be able to make a little play to give Klay Thompson a little bit of money. I don't think he's worth 40, 50 million, but that's just how the market is. But I say he stays.
Same. I say Troll, he stays, mainly because kind of like Draymond, he was on last year's deal last year. They didn't come to the extension. Jordan Poole got their money. When he became free agent, he got a deal done. So I believe that that's probably going to happen with Klay Thompson as well. He's going to finish the season. He's not going to get a lot of money anywhere else unless he just returns back to the form that we haven't seen since pre-injury. Consistently, at least we've seen spurts and stretches, but not consistently. But I don't see Golden State. If anything, I think Chris Paul potentially, but it seemed the beginning of the season, I did see Golden State a little bit in the Phoenix game. It seemed to work so far, but you'll see as the season go on, they might just be too small. At some point, you are too small, and they can't compete with Denver Nuggets as currently constructed. I could see them. To your point, Klay Thompson could be their piece in a trade for like a bigger body, but I'm aside on that they're gonna keep him. I could see them getting rid of Chris Paul instead for that type of person.
Yeah, and what kind of prompted me to say this is one, of course, a deal hasn't been done as of yet. And I think the only way Golden State can actually keep Clay is if Clay was to take a mean pay cut, which honestly he should, because he's not the same player that he was pre-injury, to Sheedy's point. But knowing Clay and seeing who all got paid, he's gonna be looking to get paid as well. And if a deal isn't struck or isn't done, honestly, before the trade deadline by some chance, it wouldn't shock me at all if they just went on and just moved on from him to address the need that they need, because they do need to get some size up front, just so they can be able to compete with the Nuggets and compete in the West. So yeah, that's what kind of prompted me to ask this question, because a deal hasn't been done yet. If we're in the same situation by Christmas time, I could definitely see his name as a potential person being moved by the trade deadline.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good one. I guess anyone else got either Schroeder now or Would You Rather? We kind of just all the same between the two. I think I got it. Would you rather?
Right.
I'm gonna take it to the football field.
Let's go. Football.
Oh, you got teams that are fully loaded and talented for the future, or with their up on their like current trajectory coming forward up into their immediate future. Which team of these super talented teams would you prefer? The Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, or the San Francisco 49ers? Which roster, the way these GMs are constructing all three of those rosters, which one would you rather have?
Ooh, man, that's crazy.
So I'm really stuck between Philly and Miami. I'm going to take San Francisco out because the thing about San Francisco roster is it's
Just say
really
their quarterback.
Just say what you mean. We know it's the QB.
Actually, I won't even go on that route. I just think that their core players are starting to get older. And so therefore I want to see again, along with the fact that they have not been able to draft a quarterback, or they haven't been able to do well at the top of the draft. I'll take San Francisco out, but I think I would go San Francisco. I would rather go Philly for the simple fact that I know when Philadelphia addresses or sees an issue or lack in their roster, they are going to go after it. And I mean aggressively. They ain't holding picks. They ain't holding players. They're going to do whatever they got to do to go fill that void. So, and I just, and I think Miami has done a really good job of building out that roster. I just need to kind of see it over a longer period of time. Yes, there's been a season here or there where Philly was not good, but dang, like Philly takes chances. Philly is really aggressive, and that's something that I wish other teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers, would do.
Yes. Well, for that reason, exactly is why I'm taking the Eagles as well. Like, they're stacked at every position in every phase of the game. We thought with them losing their offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen, to the Colts to become the coach, and them losing Miles Sanders in the backfield as one of their running backs, we thought they was gonna take a hit, but they immediately picked right back up with the addition of DeAndre Swift. Looked like they ain't missed a beat. Got a nice little thing with him and Kenny Gainwell. The receiving core is set with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. We already know that. Jalen Hurts is doing his thing at the quarterback position. They just addressed the need in the secondary against Kevin Byard. I'm sorry, Shark. I know it is reminder. Just have to send these reminders.
That's I got a second team now. Fly Eagles.
So, but yeah, it's tough to not pick Philly in this situation. Although San Fran is set too, because honestly, if you put a better quarterback than Brock Purdy there, who knows, they may have a Super Bowl or at least have a Super Bowl berth at the very least. So yeah, give me Philly. But San Fran is not that far behind.
Hey, very quick before you go, Sheedy. Who's worse for the rest of the guys? Who's worse, Sheedy or Ryan, with these with their the way the fuck you talking?
He called Brock Purdy Diet Tom Brady. Jesus Christ.
What we doing?
Hang on. I don't know. I'm not answering the question.
Call him Purdy missed.
Purdy miss sounds like a disease.
See my
Yeah.
point? Who's worse?
It's got to be Ryan. He brought it up. I just stamped it. To answer the question, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles. First of all, their management, to the point that I think Skylar made already, addresses all types of issues immediately, off season, everything. They got a Georgia team on defense and an Alabama team on offense with an offensive line that is tremendous and a defensive line that you're not really going to move. They had about one loss against the Jets, okay, but besides that, they've been playing really good, even if they had to come back to win a game because they're kind of playing below. I'm not 100% sold on the Miami Dolphins. I get it. They scored 70 points against the Let's Ride Broncos. I completely get it. That was embarrassing, all of that. But the Dolphins haven't really beat anybody besides today. Would they beat the Chargers, I think, with somebody like that? But besides that, I mean, they took a strong L to Buffalo. They took an L to Philadelphia as well. And so I'm going to give Philly the nod there. And then we're talking about San Francisco. All around personnel, I still have to give it to Philadelphia. Age, yes, but like I don't feel like San Francisco brings that dominance every game like they should. And that's different from I feel like the Eagles get ramped up for every game because they have a leader that kind of ramps them up every game. Whether that's Hurts, whether that's their head coach. But I'm never going to be sold on Purdy missed. They have some decent receivers. C-Mac is by far probably the best running back in the league. It is what it is. They have a decent defense. They have the best linebackers. Their linebackers are tremendous. And they flow from sideline to sideline. Like there is no getting past their linebackers. And they may have the best linebackers actually in the league. I mean, let me step back on that comment and actually stamp that. They have the best linebacker core in the league. However, totality speaking, the Eagles are a team or a franchise that I would want over those three. And again, nothing against the Dolphins when they're 70-point blowout, but a 50-point blowout with 70 points. But come on, man, who y'all really beating for real? But I get it. You got to play the team that plays in front of you. I get it. And you're winning your games. I get it. But we'll see when that real lights come on. And hopefully Tua is still there when the lights are on because we got to see him for a full season. That's always the talk. That's always the mention. What do you say, Skylar? When they show you who they are, believe it? Well, come on, Tua. Let's make sure we can make all, 17 games? Y'all should be in the playoffs this season for sure. Playing the way that y'all are, we'll see. But the road to the NFC will go through Philadelphia, not San Francisco.
Yeah. And the reason I included Miami, just based on straight talent, like the offensive talent, Brandon Chubb on defense, Jalen Ram, it was just a collection of talent like the Eagles and the 49ers, these teams who got stacked up talent-wise, right? Because the Chiefs still win the Super Bowl and make it every year. And they're talent-wise, you could argue these other three teams I just said are way more talented than talked about them, but they got the best quarterback in. He makes up a lot, like Scott said earlier in our early segment. He makes up a lot for your deficiencies everywhere else. But I choose the Eagles as well, really, because the key point you just made, Shiki, about San Francisco's linebackers, and shout out to Azeez Al-Shaair. We got one of the linebackers in Tennessee, and sideline to sideline, what you just said, he does exactly that. That's one of those positions that's of lesser need this day in the NFL. Like the Eagles typically have a weaker linebacker core. I feel like they're best at their most important positions. The offensive line and defensive line, they could dominate each side of the game on that point. Then their weapons on the outside and their cornerback group. I feel like they're better at the positions that is most needed in today's NFL game. Linebackers are lesser need. You can give out average linebackers as long as you're great on the offensive and defensive line and wide receiver and cornerback and got the quarterback that can get on the ball.
Yeah, and to the exact point, like Philly, and I think even San Francisco has realized this as well. There are about 5, maybe 6 positions that you need to be really, really good at. If you're good at these 5 or 6, everything else flows. Quarterback is top one. Quarterback is going to be one. Typically, I feel like after that is like left tackle, Then after that, you
Defensive
need
end,
a really good
pass rusher.
you need a defensive
A
end, you
good
need a pass
pass rusher.
rusher.
Yeah.
And then I believe like 4, 5, and 6 are
Cornerback, wide
offensive line,
receiver.
defensive line, and then quarterback. Like once you have those, when you can move the trenches, when you can say, I'm going to run the ball and there ain't nothing you can do about it. And vice versa. If you can say, I'm going to stop the run and I don't care what you do about it, when you can do one of those two, you're going to be good every single week, regardless of who's playing quarterback, but still almost depending on who you have a quarterback or not. San Francisco with Brock Purdy, but then Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts, stuff is just going to work.
And I got one last would you rather. Stick with NFL. Sorry I have to do this with Skylar and Trevor. Who wins the ugliest? The Steelers or the Jets? Because it's some games both of them teams won this year. I'm like, how the hell did they win those games?
Oh, 100% the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not even a question. Like, I can make a case for the Jets where they've looked like a competent football team. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers total offense, they still, I think the last time it happened was in 2020. We still have not had 400 yards of total offense since 2020. And I think we got like maybe 300 last week against against the Rams. And that was only because we had some folks that I think Jalen Warren and Najee Harris got it going on the ground, and then Kenny Pickett, just handled everything through the air. But the Steelers, for the most part, they literally just hang around until like midway through the fourth quarter. I know it didn't happen today, but at least until halfway through the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden they look like this competent football team that's good on both sides of the ball. So I gotta give it to the Steelers, man, because with everything that's going on with them still struggling to get a first down in the first half, them not having a game of 400 yards of total offense since 2020. We don't score a lot of touchdowns. We don't score in the red zone, but somehow we're still sitting at 5-3. So 4-3, excuse me. Thank you. 4-3. I don't know. I can't explain. Skylar, if you want to take it away, it's all you, man.
No, so to answer Shardy's question directly, I feel like it's the Steelers because historically, I feel like whenever the Jets win, it's because of their defense. I've never in my life associated the Jets with a good run offense. So therefore, I'm going to say the Steelers because, Lord Jesus, the Steelers can find ways or not find ways to win games. And to your exact point, Sharky, how in the hell did you win that game? Which now makes me like really excited that you did it, but like it's also very frustrating because you continue to look at that like, I mean, we won, so I guess we could just continue to roll the same people out there. The Steelers find ways that the Steelers will have 3 block punts in their game, and that'd be all their points. But then they could have only given up 5 points, to the other team, so therefore they won the game. You feel me? Like
the Browns game, low key.
Yeah, the Browns
two
game.
touchdowns. Won the game.
The Steelers can have the opposing kicker miss 5 field goals, but the Steelers would have kicked 6, and the 6 would have came with 10 seconds left in the game. The Steelers find the most ugliest ways to win the game, which is why people. Never mind. It's the Steelers.
Yeah. And to be honest, if Kenny Pickett wasn't out today, it would have been another ugly one today. If Kenny Pickett didn't go out, I guarantee you would have been another ugly one because I think Trevor Lawrence had an interception. We had 2 fumble recoveries that we didn't cash out for points. Yeah, if Kenny Pickett's out there, that's another ugly win for the Steelers.
The New York Jets are god awful. I don't know if it's the butt fumble curse for them. But they just, to me, and don't get me wrong, I think the Steelers are ugly wins. Yes. And besides maybe 2 to 3 players on the 4 or 5, maybe on the Jets defense, I mean, I can't barely name the offense for real. And they went in with field goals. I think the last 2 games, it's been field goals, 13-10, 2014, you know, and then, of course, getting their backs blown out on some other games. But to me, I just, when the Jets win or lose, it's ugly regardless to me. They are the ugliest team of winning or losing I've seen besides the keep pounding Panthers. Shout out to Tuch, because they just got their first win today. And again, that wasn't the prettiest. But to me, it's the Jets, because I will say this, because I always expect TJ Watt or someone on that defense to make a play to put y'all back in the game somehow, some way for the Steelers. I always expect that. I don't always expect that from someone from the Jets. They don't have anybody like that. TJ Watt is a monster. Minka, I know he's down, a monster. Y'all have some monsters all around that are game changers. They don't really have that. Quinn Williams really ain't that. He's just a nose tackle for real. And Sauce Gardner, he's been all right, but we ain't been talking about Sauce like that all season. So I'm gonna say the Jets because I think the Steelers have someone, defensive player of the year candidate, that at any given time can be like, yo, we're gonna stop y'all from going and getting the first down, and we're gonna get the ball back. And I might do a strip sack as well. And I just don't understand how well he turns it on. It's amazing when I watch TJ Watt, for real.
Bro, there can be a Steelers game where they up 21-10. And guess where 21 points came from? The defense and the special team. Like,
there we go.
You like, bro, what?
Minka have a pick six. TJ Watt would get a strip sack, and like Alex Highsmith will pick it up and take it into the end zone, and then another pick six from somebody.
the other pick six could have been like Mike Tomlin, and you looked at the stat sheet, you be like, how Mike Tomlin got a pick six?
Exactly.
That's how
it is. And then you look on the offensive side of the ball, and they ain't got but 100 yards of total offense. And everybody's just wondering how the hell is Pittsburgh winning this game?
That's what I thought. Because I thought the Jets won some games.
I had gotten over Sharky, but thank you.
I'm sorry. I saw the Jets win some games, and I'm like, bro, how the hell the Jets 4-3 right now? Like, I'm choosing the Jets in this because y'all went ugly, but y'all have talent, and I expected y'all to kind of be where y'all at with 4-3. The Jets after Aaron Rodgers went down, and I saw Zach Wilson, bro. Ain't no damn way to fuck up you 4-3 right now. There's no way. Yeah, they find a ways to get there.
And you know what's yeah. Those gonna be the final two teams fighting for the 8th spot in the AFC. Guarantee you. I promise you it will happen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do y'all play each other? Have y'all played each other this year?
I think we do.
Right,
I think we do. Let me check the schedule.
I will not watch it.
That y'all might get up there with what game was that? The Colts and the Broncos last year. That y'all might be up there. The worst game.
That's gonna be 13-11.
Nah, y'all don't play them this year.
Okay, no, we do not play them this year.
I was like, that's gonna be like a 10-8 score.
Yeah. The Jets play the Browns out of y'all's division. That's it.
Good. Yeah, we got the Patriots at home this year from that division.
That's another ugly team.
That's a good one. Shout out to your Cowboys, Sheedy. Y'all actually, this is probably one of the few years that you can actually kind of be okay.
You know what? I'm probably going to lose this week in fantasy, which will probably be the first time in a long time because I won 6 straight. But Dak Prescott.
Damn, what a flex.
He back. You remember the first year I fantasy, he was the one who was rolling over now.
Yeah, because I won 6 straight. But just to see Dak Prescott have the game that he had was a breath of fresh air. So congrats to your Cowboys on that.
Yeah, they finally freaking scrambled for the first down, man. Like, use your legs every now and then. But I'll tell you this. I'll say this right here on the show. All of this shit don't matter to me until we play San Francisco in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We have gotten dusted by San Francisco twice. Yep. It is meant for us to meet up with them again in San Francisco. And will this be the same exact result we've been having 2 years in a row? If so, then that's a problem. But I take the kudos for today. Yes. Thank God. And thank God that, to the point about quarterbacks, once Matthew Stafford went down, it was definitely cookies already, but it was chocolate chip, oatmeal raisins, snickerdoodle, all types of cookies once he went down. But yeah, looking forward to us making a playoff run, hopefully, and our nemesis being in the 49ers because they clearly whooped us already in the regular season.
Oh,
I mean, they ran the same thing that the Cardinals ran, which was just using counters. For everyone listening, Cowboys suck at counter plays. Suck. If you run counters against us, you will get at least 5 to 6 yards every time because we overcommit.
Bro, I was at that San Francisco and Dallas
Oh,
game.
you did go to
yesterday.
yeah.
Bro,
You was ready to go.
Shitty ain't lying, bro. It was the same play over and over and over again, and they just kept getting gashed. And I was like, dang.
And
I mean, I'm all the way in the I'm all the way in the end zone. I'm 45,000 deep, and I can see it. How you can't see it and you standing right there?
hey, don't feel like San Francisco really cared about the Dallas game because them folks lost 2 straight and they looking like they about to lose the 3rd straight. They on pace. That game. That's why.
Yeah.
They definitely cared about us. They really want. I feel like they really wanted to make a stand against us, and that's fine. But they still gonna win that division. That's gonna piss me off.
And Ryan said he lost to me. Yeah, Ryan, my record was 2-5, but I'm like the 3rd highest score person in the league. So that you know about how my season been going fantasy wise. Like I've been losing the game.
My John with Tuke is a little bit closer, and I think I might be all right because Lamar Jackson only got 10 points, and I still got Travis Kelce. So we're good.
Cool. We need to humble Tuke anyway, bro. Bro, been talking mad trash. Time to get some humbling in fantasy.
Hey, 7 straight. That's cool. I'll take it. So it is what it is.
But that's the end of the show. Of course, as always, everybody who listen, appreciate you, appreciate the comments, appreciate Ryan, appreciate Savage. I know Mike Patton normally is in, but he had the Titans game today. Shout out to him being able to get a chance to cover the Titans game today. Pretty good game because with Levis proving him wrong because he won the big Will Levis guy. Will Levis shut a lot of people up today, but we'll see if he can continue with. Also, shout out to our guy Faustinus. Boy, yeah, he used to support us on Starting 5. He now made his way over. Let's be real. Sorry, I ain't sorry. We gave y'all the L today, but yeah, it's what it is.
What a flex. What a flex.
That's a guy I'll talk a little bit.
I thought I was a flex.
Bill, support the other podcasts on network. Three the harder way. I'm pretty sure they're coming out with something soon. Great. I mean, NBA season coming up. Sheedy, you might speak more to when y'all next episode is, if you know the moment.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be this because Savage's delivery date is coming out very soon.
It's coming
trying
up.
to work around that and what's best for him and his family. So y'all know because we're gonna tweet about it very soon. But it's coming with more NBA content. Until then, we're just gonna push out some other stuff till then.
Definitely. They even had a pop-up show on Thursday. Yeah. Same thing in Jeans Report. He had a pop-up show on Thursday too. So man, shout out Let's Be Real Media. We out doing it. Let's Be Real Sports coming up upcoming weeks. We probably won't be on Sundays. We're gonna have a couple more guests still celebrating Black women in sports media. So just stay tuned for that. We'll have more of them on. Also, LBR Gaming, Simply Trevor, LBR. He's coming out with some more videos this week. Said early in the episode.
Yeah. Oh, I'll make a brief announcement on it. I got some more stuff coming out this week as far as 2K is concerned. I'm almost done with all this 2K stuff, so I may shift focus to UFC 5, the new UFC joint that just dropped, just to kind of give a. Go ahead, Skyler.
Oh no, I thought about that fight yesterday. Then I got mad all over again. So no, do what you was doing. That's why.
You talking about the Tyson Fury joint? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, bro. No, don't even worry about it. But yeah, I made sure to focus to UFC 5, and then I'll just maybe do like a live stream of me playing 2K online after I'm done with these mama moments because I'm on the final 2. And still thinking about doing a little wild card football, which is kind of like a modern day version of NFL Street without they don't have the actual NFL license, so they can't use the logos and things of that nature, but they got the license from the Players Association, so it's the actual players, which is kind of weird. So I'll probably be looking to do some stuff with that as well. But yeah, just be on the lookout. We moving.
Most definitely. And always remember, follow us on Twix, IG, Facebook, or Instagram at LBR_media. Subscribe and watch on YouTube, Let's Be Real Media, and subscribe for audio and different podcasting platforms at Let's Be Real Sports. Also, remember to support our sponsors. Support us by signing up for our sponsors at BetStamp, SeatGeek, and Manscaped. Promo codes for all three, LBR Media. You get $20 off your first order at SeatGeek and 20% off your order at Manscaped. while using our code LBR Media. Till next time, y'all know me, the _P Shark.
I'm PTO Shawty. I'm just playing, bro. Even here, ain't it? I'm at _Scotty though. Y'all have a good one.
Oh man, League Pass Trevor is back in effect with the NBA season. I'm at the Art of Trevor on Twitter, Simply Trevor LBR on YouTube. Of is a preposition. You know what not to do with it.
It's really shitty, man. Basketball season is in full effect for me, so expect me to come in here and talk trash about my boys, good and or bad. What's up, Mace? You had your little 7-day vacation. She ain't messing with nobody. She said, if you ain't the nursery, I ain't on it.
And of course, oh, you got it. Scott.
Yes. See another reason to chill. You feel me? Like y'all ain't got to worry about this.
Oh yeah. Yep, so don't got another year or two for me. But follow our 5th member at Tell Shakir. Till next time, peace.
Peace.